Hey everyone, welcome to the NintendoFuse Podcast. This is episode 334, recorded on Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. We're here to talk about a brand new update for the Nintendo Switch 2 and several showcases that happened over the last couple weeks, including the Mundo Gamer Showcase and Triple I Initiative that's coming up really soon, but also Future Games Showcase, and even talking about PAX East. It's going to be happening really soon, and several other news stories. But of course, we're also going to be talking about the games we've been playing and what's going to be coming up over the next couple weeks as well. Lots to talk about on this episode. My name is Steve, and of course, I'm joined by Barry and Greg. Barry, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a fast 2 weeks, but it's been one of those weird 2 weeks because so much is still going on, and between still waiting for like the police report from the accident my wife had, we just got my father into the veterans home, which has been a big transition, and then of course just trying to play some games.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Still glad your wife was okay in the accident, but that's such a pain to have to deal
Oh,
with
it's
all
a
that
right
stuff.
pain. It is a
Yeah,
pain.
yeah. Greg, how you doing?
Just hanging in there. Hopefully, still trying to find some work. I started even applying for some part-time stuff just to have some money come in because I did discover recently that the state benefits are cut off for the calendar year. So if I need to pay bills, I need to have money coming in.
Hmm. Wow, that's too bad. Like all the are just yours, or like how does that work? They just cut off all the stuff for the year, or just like no?
Well, yeah, because I guess there's a maximum amount that you can draw out or whatever for
Hmm,
that since I was like claiming that I had Bell to as a dependent, I was had a little bit more per each one, so then it
hmm.
went through it a little bit faster.
Got it. That makes sense. Well, I've been doing well. I've kind of more travel as well, and got a little bit of gaming in as I was traveling here and there. I did not get to update my Switch 2 and enjoy some of the update stuff from handheld while I was traveling, but looking forward to doing that soon. We'll get into more of the details about all that. If you are new to the NintendoFuse Podcast, thanks so much for being here. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you're watching us on YouTube, either live or after the fact, be sure to subscribe there, especially because we got a lot of other gameplay videos and game chat reviews and so much more on there. If you haven't followed us on social media, be sure to do that at Nintendo Fuse on most social medias. And also, we have a Discord as well. All those links are going to be in the show notes in the YouTube description as well. And just a note that our next episode will be recorded live on April 7th, which would be 6 days after a little movie called the Super Mario Galaxy movie is going to come out on April 1st. I will be gone actually throughout all of April. So, both of our episodes in April, I'm going to be absent for some different traveling that I'm going to be doing. So Barry and Greg will be here and bringing the episodes as normal, but because I'm going to have to miss out on that April 7th episode, we decided to do a special live stream game chat or slash movie chat about the new movie. And so if you want to mark your calendars, want to join us live as we chat about the movie, yes, there we will talk about spoilers. So if you haven't seen it at that point, maybe hold off and watch it afterwards. We'll talk about the whole movie. But that's going to be on April 2nd at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. And we'll be going live right here on our YouTube and Twitch channels, just like we do for the podcast. But that'll be a special live game chat slash movie chat for the new Galaxy movie, just to chat all about that. So, very excited about the movie.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I can't wait. I was really hoping when this was announced that this would be like the first movie I could take my son to the theaters.
Mm.
I've said that before, and not only has he not watched the first movie, but he still doesn't have the attention span, and there's no way I'm missing that and like having to deal with him and him getting upset, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
You know what? No, it was a perfect weekend too because Passover and Good Friday he's off, and I'm like, no, no, he's still not ready yet. So maybe the third movie he'll wind up seeing in theaters. We'll see how his attention goes.
Nice, nice. Greg, I know you got your tickets. You're all excited and ready as well.
Yep, I am very stoked. I know Belle's really excited, even though Galaxy is like her least favorite game. So, I mean, obviously she understands it's like a multiverse type thing that has like Odyssey and Super Mario Brothers 2 and all those other cool like homages, and it's like its own story. It's not necessarily just Mario Galaxy and turned into a actual movie, but um yeah. I mean, she obviously really likes Rosalina as a character, just didn't really care for the gameplay design of those Wii games.
Nice. Well, I am also looking forward to it, and I think it's funny. We were chatting before we recorded that. I think Barry was going to be one of the last of, or the last of the three of us to see it, and now he's going to be the first.
Yep.
Plans changed, so
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
wanted to one up us, Steve. What are
I
we gonna
It
do
know.
had
about
nothing to
that?
do with that. We were gonna see it on Thursday. We bought tickets. And then, so like out of nowhere, like a few days later, my wife's like, "When's Passover?" I'm like, it's right before Good Friday." She's like, "So the second?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "So Junior is home from school," and I'm like, "Oh no!" So we tried to get a sitter, and we couldn't find anybody that could sit. So we said, well, maybe we can go the first. And she's like, well, I got work. And so I said, well, let's cancel the tickets for now and let's see what we could do. And because my father's now in the VA, the VA hospital, and like home, they have a meeting that morning that they're like, it's an in-person meeting. We're supposed to be there. So she had to call out of work so that we can go at like 9:30 in the morning to the home to do the meeting and see my father. And then I'm like, that's perfect because now we can go see the movie right afterward.
There you go. Nice, nice. We'll see what happens on Thursday. I've got a few different things. I was hoping to actually go see it again, before we chatted about it, but it's probably not going to happen. But I'll probably see it a second time in the theaters. We'll see.
You won't get a
Uh,
stink eye from the missus, will you?
oh, it'll be after the first time. Like the first time
You
will be our tickets together. No, I already got the stink eye when I told her I may go the night before at the midnight launch, and
you,
she's like,
I,
"But
I told my wife that situation. You know what she said? She's like, you know what? If you needed to go early for work and you needed to make sure you saw it so that you could record, go. I would be fine with it. But you're still coming at night with me, and you're gonna
uh,
enjoy it. Like that's. I'm
uh,
like, okay, sure, that
yeah,
works.
yeah, totally. I'll gladly see it twice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She didn't. She wasn't gonna necessarily stop me, but she was upset because she wanted to, to be the first time
The
experience for
virgin.
both of us
She
together.
wanted to pop your cherry of the movie together.
There you go.
Up each other's first viewing together.
There you go. Well, let's talk about what we have been playing rather than what we're going to be seeing soon. So, what have you been playing over the last couple weeks, Barry?
Yeah. So for me, it's been a mix of games that I normally play as well as some new stuff and some game chat stuff. So on the Switch side, still playing Pokemon Unite and Asphalt Legends Unite. A couple game chat games on the Switch. Been playing Lego Party, which we recorded a game chat for, and Living Dead House, which is a new one from. Now I'm drawing a blank. It's an arcadey style game. It's like a horror house, but it's not really horror. It's more Finn's Arcade.
Mm.
It's just like one screen. Can you survive that night? It's in a minute and a half, and monsters are coming after you. Really fun game. So Tristan and I will be doing a game chat on that. So I played some of that. Went back and played some First Squadron Phoenix, which Steve and I are going to be doing a game chat on eventually because they've been updating it, and they not only updated the graphics, but they also took advantage of the boost mode. So playing on Switch 2 now, you get full 1080p and handheld, which is really, really nice. and the game is just so much fun. And again, this is the Star Fox game Nintendo's not delivering, so hopefully there'll be a game chat here soon. On the Switch 2 side, played some more Scott Pilgrim EX, which Greg and I recorded a game chat, which will be going live soon. It's a fun beat 'em up adventure. It's not even a stage by stage. It's really like an open world adventure style game set in the Scott Pilgrim universe. Played a little more Pokemon Legends ZA, just more and more trading and stuff than anything else. And the new season happened, so I went and got the latest Mega Stone from the season, which I think might be the last one, but we'll see. Kirby Air Riders had another event this past weekend, so I went and did that and got my top hat. That was an interesting change of pace for the event. And Sonic Racing Cross Worlds also had a festival that I did, and Mega Man joins this week, so I'll be playing more of that with another festival. But I've been playing some Sonic Racing to prepare for that. Playing some Monster Hunter Stories 3, which I'll just say I'm playing it, and they're not going to get anything more out of me because they refuse to give me a code. My big game that I've been playing though is Pokemon Pokopia. I am now 3 Pokemon away from getting the full decks. 2 of them I'm just waiting for, and the last one I have to wait till tomorrow to be able to craft the final habitat. And I've got, I think, all but maybe 3 habitats done now. I beat the game. I was decorating my areas, and it's just such a blast. Like, what a game! This game I went into thinking I'm gonna have some fun with, and it just captured me. In fact, this game has captured so much that my wife was like, "I'm not buying a Switch 2. I'm just gonna live vicariously through you." And by watching me and watching me and watching me, she finally said, "Screw it. It's my birthday this month," and got herself a Switch 2 and this game. So we now have 2 Switch 2s in the house, and she is playing it, and she calls it digital crack because she's staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning playing this game because it's so addicting and so much fun, and there's just so much to it. What a game! I mean, it's a system seller. Flat out, this is a system seller. It's sold it in our household. Great game. So I've been playing that still. On the PC side, still playing some Final Fantasy 14. And the mobile side, Mario Kart Tour, LinkedIn Games, New York Time Games, Pokemon TCG Pocket, and a new one that just launched last night, Dissidia Duellum Final Fantasy. The latest Dissidia game is unfortunately a mobile-only game, but it dropped last night, and I wanted to play it. And I actually bought a controller for it, but it's weird because it has to be vertical, not horizontal. Never all the controllers are for horizontal, so I'm like wedging things in to hold it up so I can play. Because it plays okay with the touchscreen, but it's like 3D. Plays much better with the controller.
Mm.
Is it a gacha? Yeah, it's a very limited gacha too. Like, I'm very shocked. There's a very small roster of characters and different costumes, but the gameplay itself is fun. But it's all like online. It's all like competitive, but it's not even like how to describe the system, because if you know this city, it's a fighting game. It's either 1v1 or in the latest one, the NT 3v3. But this time you can fight each other, but the objective is it's almost like a sport. It's 3 versus 3, and the objective is to defeat enemies. So you can break these crystals to get your bravery points up, which is a staple of the Dissidia series. And when you get 9,999, you can enter like a brave mode and attack the boss that's roaming around, and whoever does the most damage to the boss by the end of it winds up winning the game. And like, that's it. Like, you can attack the other people and steal their bravery, but it's very different than what I was expecting.
Hmm.
But it's fun. Will I be dropping hundreds of dollars in this? Probably not. I did buy, it was like $1.99 for the starter pack, and you get like 3 characters. I'm like, for $2, I'll go for it. Like, that's not too bad. But I'm just playing for free, which means I'm watching ads every 8 hours to get a bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's how they get you.
That's true. Yeah. I feel like the some of those games end up being like streaming services. So if you like end up subscribing to all these games, it'd be the same as like having a cable subscription. They should just offer some sort of like bulk deal for like all these
I would
games. They
love
would never do
that.
it, but
I want them to. I would even take an NT port on like Switch or Switch 2.
hmm,
Like, let's keep the games live. Or give us a PSP port of the first 2 games. Like, come on. Like, it's such a cool concept, and it was done so well. And I think the people didn't like NT as much because it was 3v3. I didn't mind that, but they could also just add a 1v1 mode. Um, But come on, like you have one of the biggest franchises ever, which I know they made a statement that was like a lot of younger kids don't glom to Final Fantasy like kids like our generation did, and it's like we had Final Fantasy games almost every year. There was like 7 years in between 15 and 16, like that's your reason you're not putting out the games fast enough. You just keep re-releasing the old ones
Right.
or remaking.
Like the 20th version of Final Fantasy VII.
Yep. Even this app, it starts with you starting as Cloud, and then you get to pick between 4 characters, Cloud being one of them. But the story starts with, I mean, come on, stop it.
Sure.
Warrior of Light, put Warrior of Light in there instead. He's one of the first 4, but like he should be the one starting it, if anything.
Wow. Greg, what have you been playing over the last couple weeks?
All right, well, I'll start off with the easy ones to kind of fill in with what Barry also was playing with, which is Lego Party and Scott Pilgrim EX. So we have game chats for both of those, hopefully coming out here in the near future to see the full thoughts and break down my opinion on both of those. And then also on Switch 2, I finally booted up a little bit of Blueprints today, and I was kind of doing initial run, and it's pretty interesting type game that has like a pretty deep story where like you inherit this mansion, but you have to like find this secret room to in order to like actually like have permanent ownership of it. Otherwise, you forfeit your rights and this mansion that you inherited. And so how it works is it's kind of like a roguelike, unfortunately. I know that's everyone's favorite word on this podcast, especially Steve's and mine, but it's more of a puzzle game in fact. So it's like you're just trying to route to this room, like you have a spot on the map where you can see where the room is supposed to be, but then like every time you open a door, you get to pick like one of 3 room designs, and then you get to like have to kind of make your own path towards this door, but then sometimes you'll reach like hints or stuff saying that, like, oh, this door is locked, you'll need a key. And so then like you need to make sure you're spawning certain rooms that can like give you keys, and then you also need to like spawn in like other types of rooms that can give you like gems and coins and other currencies and stuff. So it's very, very intriguing. And so then obviously if you don't make it there or get stuck, then you hit reset, and then you just get to start at the entryway chamber again, and then basically get to have like a reroll of all the room types and stuff to be able to play again. So it's not traditional like roguelike where it feels like you lose lots of progress because it's almost just kind of like hitting restart on a puzzle, and then the puzzle just kind of is completely different. It doesn't have the exact same solution as the one that you might have gotten stuck on. So enjoying it so far, and hopefully we'll get some more progress in the near future. And then still doing my mobile suite of games, which is the 2 games on Roblox, Dandy's World and Adopt Me. Both have like Easter themed or like kind of festive activities going on for like around a month or so. And then it's just been working to unlock the content of both of those games. And then still doing the Cookie Run Kingdom and enjoying that a lot with my daughter Belle, and pretty much just they just wrapped up one of the main stories that they've had going on for, I guess, the last 5 years the game's been out, and then they'll be starting an entire new saga, almost like a kind of like how Fire Emblem Heroes did entirely new books every single year. But I think this is like a multi-year project that they have for this. So new stories should be coming out in the next few months here. And that's pretty much it for me.
Nice. Nice.
What I want to know is, did you watch the Scott Pilgrim movie?
I actually was trying to look it up online. It said it was on HBO Max. I opened up HBO Max and it didn't. It only returned the anime like TV series. I did watch like an episode of that, and it was actually pretty interesting. I didn't continue because I was hoping to watch the movie, but then I found a different page that said it would also be on Amazon, but then Amazon said I have to pay to rent or just to buy it now. So I didn't quite sign up for that, with funds being possibly a little bit limited. But I probably will end up just renting it probably in the near future, anyways, just to if I can't find another way to watch it.
Maybe your library has like a copy of the DVD or something.
Yeah, that's also very true.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. Spoiler alert for the game chat on Scott Pilgrim. Greg was not familiar with the anything, so that was that was fun for Barry and I to realize, like, "Oh, man, you're missing out." So, yeah, we're
You
just
know what? It made it a really good game chat because
yeah,
I'm familiar with it and Greg isn't, and we both give our takes on the game. So you get a take on if you're a Scott Pilgrim fan or if you've never even heard of the franchise before,
mhm,
and how you like the game. So, um,
yeah,
but yeah, I look forward to
yeah.
your review whenever you see the movie,
Yeah,
Greg.
me too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm actively trying to get it down, so I'm hoping probably by the time we do our next podcast that I would hopefully have watched it. But yeah, it's definitely been on my radar, and I've been researching, finding because like there's like where to watch stuff you can type into Google, and it's supposed to say like, hey, it's on whatever Netflix right now for free if you have a subscription, if or you can buy it on Amazon. Like it always lists, like it usually updates pretty recently if you're looking for any basically any program or TV show that you wanna watch, like, you could just it tells you what
Mhm.
services it's on.
Nice. Well, I've been playing some games on Switch 1 and 2. Played some Lego Party with these guys and recorded that game chat. Also played some more mini shoot adventures. Really, really enjoying this game. Like I've it is something that I didn't realize I would ever see, and so it's like a game that I thought that I would be like, I was longing for necessarily because but it is like it's an adventure plus twin stick shooter. I'm like, "This is fantastic. Why haven't more, like, games been like this? This is great." It's I've really just been able to just sink right into it, and it's incredibly simple, so it's not overwhelming, like, graphics and everything, but it's a good I don't know, it's just a good experience. I've really enjoyed it so far. And yeah, progressing pretty well. It's not overly difficult. There's a few times where I've died, sometimes where I've just made stupid decisions. So it's not overly difficult, but it's a good challenge and it's fun to yeah to have a twin stick shooter top down kind of experience, but also progressing and finding different areas and discovering different lands and all this different stuff. So it's been cool to play that. Also booted up, got a review copy of Human Fall Flat, Switch 2 edition, and I had never played Human Fall Flat, so this is a first experience for me. I thought it was a Fall Guys clone. It is not, and that completely threw me off when I first booted it up. And here's my initial impressions. I don't know if you guys have played this game before, but um, I am bored as heck. Like this is so boring. Like it's basically they're kind of like escape room kind of things, and so you progress from one room to the next and I decided to go online when I first booted it up, and that was a mistake because there's some people that they have these you have to find an open lobby or an open room. And so you go into the lobby and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait and unless the host actually starts the game, nothing happens. So that's really boring. And then finally I got into ones that actually did start the game and so you're progressing through, but then you're working together with people you don't even know and it's such a pain and people are throwing each other off the screen and interfering and it's just annoying the whole time. And so I finally went back and I was like, okay, I'm going to do a single player like local run through and kind of learn the basics of it. And I was just bored like so much. And like the music doesn't help either because it's like really melancholy like music that's going to put me to sleep and because you have to like the camera's tight on your character too, so I'm like rotating the camera around with the right stick quite a bit, and it's making me a little woozy, and the controls are just awful. And so yeah, I'm not enjoying my experience with Human Fall Flat so far. But
I'm
I
kind of
also
surprised you didn't request more codes for all of us to share in your misery.
I well, I might now. Uh, but
We're playing it.
one thing that I fun little story, a fun little thing that I realized about my TV. I think the entire time I've owned my Switch 2, I've been playing on the TV in my office gets the most play rather than the TV in our living room. And I have been playing Switch 2 with 1080p graphics the entire time. Because for some strange reason, my TV, I have it set to like go to automatic for the resolution, and it was giving me 1080p. And so I had to like force it to give me 4K by turning it on standard mode. And so I've been missing out on 4K Switch 2 content this entire time. Now it looks great in 1080p. But yeah, I've been missing out. So now I get to enjoy the Switch 2's 4K goodness. And so I'm thankful to Human Fall Flat for at least showing me that on my TV settings.
Did you also go into your Switch settings and change HDR to be only on, like, I think it's only on per game, not automatically on? Because like
I can't
that's one of
remember
the
what that
settings.
is.
There's
I
one of the settings where if you don't do that, like the background like is not black, it's like gray. It doesn't work properly. But if you switch it to like only apply to games that apply it for, not like try to force it in Switch one, like
yeah.
the gray becomes black, like it actually starts working.
Oh,
But
okay.
by default it comes the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it tries to force HDR in every game, which looks not as good because not
Ah,
every game takes advantage of HDR.
got it. Got it. I did realize that my TV also like I don't know if it can do HDR with some other settings too. So like it's weird on some things. So I'm going to be playing around with my TV for a little bit because I didn't realize that that was the case the whole time. Also did boot up Rocket League on PC and played a little bit of that and actually did pretty well, having not played it in several months. But I checked out the new updates and stuff like that. So now there's like the boost pads like will show as they're charging up again, and there's a few small updates like that. The new season's out, which is it's okay. I'm glad that I'm not incredibly high in terms of ranking because I've heard that higher ranking players are just getting bombarded by bots all the time and people are just cheating and all this stuff. So I have encountered that some, but I don't think I'm encountering it nearly as much as some of the high ranked players. So I guess that's good that I'm only like diamond champ level rather than higher than that. And then on mobile, Clash Royale, Last Z, Pokemon TCG Pocket. I actually finished the Palladian set, at least the normal cards. So that was fun. I had a wonder pick the other day and just happened to pick the right one. I was like, sweet. I got my last one, and then I have been playing Super Mario Run with the wonder stuff recently.
Yeah, did you finish that update? Like the
I
event?
haven't finished it. I finished like one and a half of the punch card things or whatever so far. And I did remember that I'm not a big fan of how the game pauses when you get like different things happen, especially the Wonder Flower, and it like pauses for a moment when you get it, and it drives me crazy on a game that is like a constant runner because I have fallen
Okay.
in traps or fallen on enemies so many times when I'm not ready for it to like pause for a second when I encounter it and then start again, and it messes up my rhythm.
Oh no.
So they need to
I
stop that.
I forgot. I finished that event, and the way I did it was I did the caves. The ones with the red and blue toads. I
Yep.
found easiest. There were some where I got like 200 or something like that. The Wonder Goombas in one run.
Oh,
Like it
nice.
just those. I found those to be way easier than any of the others. So
Hmm,
that's my tip to anyone trying to do the event before it ends.
cool. Well, let's move into some headlines. If you have not let us know before we do headlines, although let us know what you've been playing either in the live chat or in the comments on YouTube after the fact. We'd love to know what you guys have been playing as well. But yeah, as I said, let's jump into the headlines, and Barry's going to kick us off with the first one.
Yeah, so Future Games Showcase happened back on March 12th, and the Spring Showcase featured several titles that were confirmed for Nintendo platforms, including a specific mention of the Switch 2. There's Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, is coming. They did a developer deep dive, and it's confirmed to launch on May 29th for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and the release for Switch 2 is coming later down the line, which is a little disappointing, but who knows, maybe it'll get bumped up. Mariachi Legends, which was a Kickstarter game, it's a pixel art Metroidvania set in Mexico. They have both a Switch and a Switch 2 version, and that is coming out soon. Hyperwired, a fast paced top down shooter that features unique risk reward mechanics, is confirmed for Switch later this year. Dave the Diver in the Jungle, which is a brand new DLC that is coming to all platforms, is coming on June 18th. And Barbarian Saga, The Beastmaster, it's an action adventure title that's coming this fall on all major consoles. Switch wasn't specifically mentioned, but usually that means Switch when they say all major consoles.
Speaking of future games and showcases, we have the Triple I Initiative Showcase is set, just confirmed their date for April 9th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So that's the date for this year, 2026. And it's saying it's back for its third year. There's going to be 45 minutes of back-to-back trailers, world premieres, gameplay reveals, and launch dates. And it says right around 40 game announcements are locked and loaded, including Dead as Disco, Far Far West, and Over the Hill. And then their big tagline here is saying there's no hosts, no ads, just games.
As we mentioned last episode, Nintendo is coming back to PAX East. That would be March 26th through 29th, so just a couple days away as of this recording. And Nintendo has since let us know that they're going to be bringing Super Mario Wonder, the Switch 2 edition, specifically the meetup at Bella Bella Park, and that's going to be located at booth 18019 if you're going. And also, Pokemon Pokopia will be located in a booth 18031, along with Pokemon Champions that will also be at that same exact booth. And then attendees can also check in at the Nintendo desk at the North Lobby and sign up for My Nintendo account or just use their existing one. And they're going to be able to get some platinum points as you check in, as well as being able to get a Mario Wonder Bella Bella Park acrylic character standee while supplies last.
And speaking of plastic things that you may not really need in the house that are going to collect dust, McDonald's is partnering with Nintendo for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and the Happy Meals will launch on March 26th. That's just in 2 days. There will be 12 toys in total, and I actually say toys in quotes because it looks more like they're display pieces. They're not really toys to play with. But you'll get Luigi in the frog suit, Fire Mario, Wonder Bowser Jr., Peach, regular Mario, Yoshi, regular Bowser Jr., Birdo, Aluma, regular Bowser himself, Captain Toad, and Rosalina. So, will you be eating terrible food to get little display pieces?
Well, this doesn't have anything to do with food, but back to the showcases. So the Mundo Gamer Showcase was just this a few days ago of this recording on March 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and it featured at least 38 different games coming on a variety of platforms. But for those of us here that are just mostly focused on the ones for Switch or Switch 2, there was only about 5 games mentioned there, and there's um, Abathor, Cena, A Tale of Spirits, Clean Up Earth, Hat Me If You Can, and then Aisa, Shadows of Silence. But you can check out more at our link or whatever we'll have for further breakdown of other games on all the other platforms.
Well, guys, there's potentially another Switch 2 on the release schedule. And you're like, "What? How is that gonna be?" Well, according to a lot of different people, who are familiar with all the different things that are going on in the EU and their right to repair regulations, supposedly, there might be a new Switch 2 coming out with a removable and replaceable battery, because of those specific regulations. So we're not sure if that's actually gonna happen yet, but a lot of people are saying it may be happening. Lots of sites like Tom's Hardware have the details on that. So if it does happen, then I guess we'll have another version of the Switch 2. And because it's region free, maybe you could import it if you also wanted to replace your battery. I'm not really sure, but the removable battery clause will not actually take effect until February 18th, 2027. So there's a good chance that it won't actually happen until after that, if it does.
And Nintendo decided this morning to drop via Nintendo Today a brand new informational trailer on Pokemon Champions. An overview trailer is about 6 minutes long, talking about the game. And yeah, the big thing that we found out about is the pricing. So this is a free to play game, and the way it works is you can rent one Pokemon every single day. That Pokemon will stay with you for a week, and you make teams and do battles and stuff like that. But if you want to get a little more serious, they also talked about the different pricing plans. So to start off, there's a starter pack, which is 980 yen, or around just over $6. This is a one-time thing. It adds 50 additional Pokemon slots. You have 30 for free, so this brings you to 80. You get a Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee battle song that you can use, 30 teammate tickets to recruit 30 Pokemon permanently, and 50 training tickets, which I'm not sure exactly what those will do. There's also a battle pass per season, which is roughly 31 days. That's going to be 1,400 yen, or about $8.82 a season. So if you do that times 12, you're looking at $108 a year. There's also a premium battle pass that unlocks even more and more clothes, more items. We don't know the price of it. They just said it's a thing. And there's also a membership. Then this membership gives you more Pokemon to store, gives you more battle teams, and exclusive missions and songs. This is 700 yen, or just over $4, and 41 cents aroundish, a month. So if you do that, that's, roughly $44, $45 a year or so. So you're looking at over $150 a year to play competitively in this game to get everything. Uh, that's up to you if you want to go that hard. I guess you can check it out. It does come out April 8th on Switch, and it is a Switch 1 game, but they've confirmed that for Switch 2, there will be graphical upgrades and, the higher frame rates and all that stuff.
Speaking of memberships, if you have an NSO account, then you also have your access to the Nintendo Music app. So we got two bigger updates for this particular release. So on March 16th, we finally got the epically awaited Super Metroid soundtrack added to Nintendo Music. And then on the 18th, we got our first taste of the vocal tracks playlist. So this is like they have like different sections where they already have like times a year, like it's seasonal type stuff, but now they have one featuring specifically vocal tracks. So there's some new ones that they have highlighted here, like Starlight Journey, the English version, the Kong Bonanza from Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then the Calamari Incantation from Splatoon. So you can check out these new vocal tracks now in Nintendo Music app.
And apparently, there's been a little bit of an issue with the recent release of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Dark Lugia, on Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics. And Nintendo has actually released a statement on Twitter and said we're receiving inquiries regarding errors that cause the game to forcibly close, and they're currently investigating a solution. They'll notify us as soon as there are any updates. So please wait a little longer. And so they also noted that if the game forcibly closes during play, save data will not be saved. Therefore, use the quick save feature in the pause menu within the game until they release an update and to fix this. And they sincerely apologize for any inconvenience and trouble this has caused.
And finally, how about a blast from the past? All the way back from the 80s. MeTV Toons, the TV station, is excited to announce that the Super Mario Brothers Super Show is going to be airing there finally this upcoming Monday, March 30th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. According to the trailer, it does show live action stuff. So will it have all the live action? We don't know. But yeah, Captain N, and they also said something about Super Mario 3 and Mario World coming. So you know, it's like get your bowl of cereal ready Monday morning, and let's go back. Let's go back to the 80s.
Make sure it's that Nintendo cereal that we got.
Oh man, the Nintendo cereal system? Heck yeah,
Mm,
let's do it.
be great. I long for the 80s again.
I know.
Ah, it was good times. Good times. Uh, anyway, um, before we go into our thoughts on all these, real quick, Oki reps saying he's picked up basketball classics and recently and still trying to get the hang of it. It's like Tecmo meets Double Dribble, but the button layout is taking him some time to get used to. Well, that's interesting as well. So yeah, that the game recently came out, and yeah, we saw it, kind of interested in it. So that's cool. Barry, what do you think about these headlines? Anything stand out?
Um, Quite a lot. It's great. It's great to see so many showcases still going on. Future games, happening in Triple I, Mundo Gamer. Looking forward to Triple I, which is coming up, and I think it's important that a lot of devs get exposure. We've said it before, indie devs, it's very hard, and there's just a lot of great games coming out. Nintendo coming to PAX East is great. I want to see them do it more. I remember going to New York Comic Con and them being there, and then they disappeared. And I'm like, why are you not back? Like, come on. It was just fun to be able to see them at a show. I was gonna get the Mario McDonald's toys because I'm like, oh, these would be cool to decorate my son's room, and my wife just flat out looked at me and said, "Are you going to dust them? Where are we gonna put them in the room? We don't really have space in his room. How about we don't?" I was like, Okay." So I'm not going to McDonald's. I will not be getting these toys. So yeah, I mean, even if I wanted it for myself, I have no room to display them either. They look cool, but it's more junk. Don't need more
Mhm.
junk.
There's always
Um,
your room though, Barry.
my room's already full. Are you kidding me? I have too much stuff already. I
Hey,
hadn't heard about the Pokemon XD thing. That's interesting, but I
mhm.
usually use the quick save on NSO anyways over the actual saving features, just because it's so much easier. It's one of the benefits of emulation. I love that the Super Mario Super Show is coming back because that's definitely something I want to introduce my son to. I've got the DVDs, and I'm curious to see if these are like going to be the complete versions with all the live action segments and stuff like that. Because man, not that he was 8 o'clock in the morning. He's getting up and going to school. Unfortunately, too bad it wasn't Saturday, man. That'd be
Yeah,
great. But again, I have the DVDs for when it gets to that point. It's not there yet, but it's close. And Pokemon Champions, it's one of those games that I'm going to get at the start because it's free to play, and I'll probably get the starter pack because it's like $6 or so. I think that's fair to try it out and see because it's a one-time deal. Yeah, I already pay the Asphalt. I do a season pass every 30 days and I think that's a $20 pass. And then I do, Pokemon Unite is like a $10 pass or whatever. So I don't need another one of these passes unless the game blows me away. But I figure doing the 6, $7, I'll mess around with it and I'll get my money's worth. And I don't know how competitive I'm gonna be because I like my favorite part of Pokemon is capturing and collecting and just kind of exploring the world. Not as much the battles, and this is literally all battles, but you can tell that this is geared towards the hardcore, the people that want to go to regionals, that want to be a Pokemon master. This is geared towards them, especially because you can be never played a Pokemon game before and you can rent Pokemon and you could play this because you don't need to connect. If you do have home, I didn't mention this, but if you do have home, you can connect Pokemon from Pokemon Go, Pokemon Legends ZA, Arceus, stuff like that can go over. However, if you bring Pokemon in to Pokemon Champions, they're visiting. They're not permanently there. They're there visiting and probably again for 7 days, and then they go back to home. The only way to get them permanently in the game is to either have the passes or you get like a VC or something like that, like you earn by playing, and then you can find permanent Pokemon. So it's a whole new system. We'll see how it is, and who knows? in 2 months, I could be like, oh my god, I'm addicted. I'm playing like 100 Pokemon battles a day. Please help me. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, like you said, I think they're definitely setting it up for esports kind of stuff that we'll see. We'll see a whole bunch of that stuff. But yeah, for the average gamer, we'll see how much we want to spend on this game because you can
You think you're
spend a
gonna do the
lot.
$7? Think you're gonna do the $7 starter pack and
Probably not.
going with that? You're just gonna do the free?
I'm just gonna do free. Like it's what I've never. I don't know if I've ever really subscribed like to any game like that. Like I bought a couple Rocket League things here and there, and the what they call like or that's equivalent of Battle Pass, but it's not a subscription sort of thing. And honestly, a lot of times they give it to me for free to check it out for the new season. So I haven't had to buy it in a long time. So yeah, I don't know. Like doesn't seem like it'd be my thing. I'll play around with it though, because hey, it's free to play. So, uh, Greg, what do you think about these headlines?
Pretty much ditto with Barry. What with Barry said about all the showcases. It's great to see indie developers get their time to shine because they don't really get a lot of acknowledgement from the three major platforms. So, I know Nintendo has like the Nindy thing that they do once in a while, but it's obviously very competitive and hard to get everything in there. So it's great to see that there's other avenues for them to get their games out there and show it to anyone that could be interested in their projects. Um, for the PAX East stuff, I've never been, but hopefully it should be a good time for anyone that's able to go. Hopefully one of these years I can try to go out there. Uh, the Happy Meal stuff, I don't know. There's a few of them that I would love to have, but it's very hard to get like very specific ones because normally, at least at McDonald's, they only get like whatever two, three at a time, and then it kind of like cycles in like over the course of like their period or whatever. So it's not like you could just go in there and say, "Hey, just give me Yoshi," and boom, you're good to go. It's like it's whatever they have
eBay.
in. Yeah, it's like whatever they have in stock that day, or you have to go to eBay to get any missing pieces. But I don't know. I mean, I have to see if Bell's gonna want to get some of these, or if I'm just gonna have to suffer through the food and get a enjoy a little toy. But I don't know. Time will tell. Let's see for the UK requirement. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, I understand a lot of Nintendo repair stuff is usually pretty hard to do, and it requires a custom screwdrivers and stuff, even on like NES cartridges to replace the batteries and anything like that. So it's kind of great to see that there's someone standing up for the consumer, and obviously they made like Nintendo comply along with like Apple to use like the USB-C. So this is obviously pretty much good for consumers all around if they have to make that change. I'm not really into the Pokemon Champions type stuff, but great for excited for the fans and stuff that are, and will enjoy. I know Steve will have fun free to play, and Barry might be do the pay to play. I guess like by the sounds of it, he wants to rank at the top.
No, just
Uh
the starter pack I'm talking. It's $7.
oh
And the first one's free, Barry.
It's not even the battle pass. It's just
Yeah,
I can have more Pokemon, and you
yeah.
get 30 permanent Pokemon in there. So I figured that's at least worth it, so I don't have to worry and
We'll
can play
see.
it at
We'll
leisurely.
see. It'll be like 2 weeks
yeah
later, and he's like, "Please send help. I'm addicted."
I doubt it. Like I said, it's my least favorite part of Pokemon, ironically.
Yeah, time will tell on that. The music app things, I did see the Super Metroid thing drop like instantaneously, and then like right my next car ride, I immediately had that on the car. I was like easily jamming to that. Like, I was waiting for that one for so long, and I know there was like a episode we did of the podcast. I think like at least 6 months ago, where I said like, why isn't Super Metroid here yet? Like I don't know why it's not, and now it finally is. So was really excited to see that. And then pretty much also the other Pokemon thing. It's obviously sucks for anyone experiencing the air, and hopefully we'll get a fix in here soon. And like Barry, I tend to use the quick save a little bit more frequently than the actual in save thing because I tend to more like just like use the home button to exit out, which is usually kind of a quick save thing, and it just kind of just deletes it, and you just get to resume as if you like left the system on. So I kind of like that saving method better than trying the traditional way of like either like dying and forcing a save, or at least on the NES games, or having to go to certain locations to save a game for basically GameCube games and probably some N64 games. So, and then the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, that's super exciting to see that come back. I don't think there was like any episodes pulled or had major issues with, but I guess it depends on at least if there's any ones like the states that don't want their likeness used in such a way, then that would get them pulled out. But I guess you never really know until they start airing them.
Yep. Yeah, right along with you guys, excited about the showcases, and so cool to, I mean, pretty much all these are for the most part geared toward PC games and Steam and everything, but to see like, 5, 6, 7 or so games that are also coming out to Switch or Switch 2 is really exciting. And I love that, we're not those games are not just, on PC or even on other systems now, that we have a Nintendo system, and we have for a while, that can actually handle a lot of these games, and so we're actually seeing them come to Nintendo systems. So that's exciting, and yeah, excited to see what Triple I brings on April 9th as well. Um, I was initially excited about the Mario, or that Mario movie Happy Meal toys as well, and then as you said, Barry, they're not really toys as much as just kind of little miniature statues. And at that point, I was like, I don't know if I want those. Like, they seem kind of cool in the initial picture, and then like when they like announced it, and then when you actually saw what they were, I was like, yeah, I don't need those. So I'm glad, because I don't have to go to McDonald's. Uh, but uh, but yeah, not excited about that. But I am excited about. I have mixed feelings about Nintendo at PAX East. I'm glad they're coming back, but that lineup could be better. So I'm excited that people have it. But Mario Wonder, like, of course, the meetup at Bella Bell Park is cool, that kind of stuff. But it's a game that we've already had. And Pocopia has been out for a while. At that point, I think everybody that wants that game is going to already had it. So that'll be like, don't show that off at a new, gaming event. Pokemon Champions makes little sense, but I believe like that is still be ahead of the release, so that's okay. But they've done more in the past. They've had like huge stations with like 10, 15 games shown off. Like, I miss those days at PAX East.
Yeah, I feel like they could easily have Yoshi, Tamagotchi Life, something like that in there. Even maybe early Fire Emblem or Splatoon Raiders, maybe
Mhm.
showing that off,
Yeah,
or Rhythm Heaven. We know they're
yeah,
coming. Let's do early versions of them.
yeah.
And
Uh,
honestly, I feel like they should have like a booth with Donkey Kong Bananas, like the Mario Kart World, just for people who've
sure,
never had a Switch, like, oh, or a Switch 2. Let me try these games out.
sure.
Hyrule Warriors.
Well, and sometimes they've done, and honestly, PAX East might be doing this anyway, like a Mario Kart tournament. But in the past, Nintendo has specifically sponsored some of those tournaments as well, and so that would have been cool to see them like, okay, Nintendo is actually sponsoring the Mario Kart World Tournament, or something like that. But yeah, it kind of seems like I'm glad they're showing up, but they're kind of minimal effort this time around.
Now, would you prefer what they did here, or what they're doing, or instead just have a bunch of Switch 2s running Switch 2 Welcome Tour and Drag X Drive, and like that's it?
Uh, no comment.
That's how you get no
Also,
one to go to your booth.
yeah, exactly. That's a way to push people away. Um, yeah, I'm interested to see what this UK Switch 2 with the removable or replaceable battery could look like, if it actually, happens or not. But it's really interesting that Nintendo could be forced into doing that. And if it is, I you know, I would at least consider importing one. I could have a spare battery and swap it out, depending on how easy it is to swap out. If it's like hot swappable, then that could be nice to take on the go. But if it's not, and you have to like actually unscrew things and everything, which is probably what's going to happen, then I'm not going to do it at all. But I'd at least be interested if it was a hot swappable battery. But again, I'm not expecting that at all.
I mean, usually they make these changes globally because I mean that's why like our iPhones here in the US have USB-C. So it's not like those cost from like an EU regulation change. So I mean like our they would have to send they would it's probably easier just to have that also over here unless they just really need to do different models for Europe, but I would assume that you would just want to have one kind of model.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I need to look. I have never looked into what the requirements are for the right to repair stuff. Like I know that Apple and even a lot of the like Samsung and stuff like that, they don't have hot swappable batteries and they're okay. Like they're not going to be required to do that. So just as long as you can get access to the battery and be able to swap it out. And I feel like it's more accessible than an iPhone battery. You don't have to like actually heat it up and, and pry the screen away or anything like that. You just unscrew the back and swap out the battery. So I don't know. I'm not even expecting this to actually happen. I just know it's been in the news recently. Um, Pokemon Champions, I'll check it out. Probably won't pay any money. But Nintendo Music app, that's so cool to keep adding stuff. I have not played Gale of Darkness yet, but I'm with you guys. I use the built-in quick save anyway. And I don't know if I have the MeTV tunes anywhere on all our like over the air channels or anything like that. But I'll have to see if I have access to it in another way. But like you, Barry, I have the DVDs. So if I really want to watch it, I'll just pop the DVDs into my Xbox and watch it that way instead. Going to the chat real quick. Looks like Zev Zero has been playing nothing but Marathon, and he never has to wait on a match. Seems like there's always a community who really loves the game, and the game is a lot more is a lot more than an extraction shooter. So he's really enjoying it. So cool. Well, be sure to let us know again what you guys have been playing, what you think about all these headlines. Let us know in the chat or in the YouTube comments after the fact. Or if you miss all that, you can also hop over into our Discord. We're always chatting about games in that as well. Well, let's move into our main discussion. And I'm excited to say, guys, we've got a Switch 2 update. Version 22.0.0 released on March 16th, 2026. And we finally have themes. No, just kidding. We don't have themes. Several other things have happened because of this update. Some minuscule things and some things that are pretty cool. So we'll just kind of run through these and just discuss what what is exciting, what's not so exciting. The first thing is that they changed the on-screen text and animations when you load a virtual game card in the home menu. I don't know why that needed to be changed, but hey, it's changed. They also added the ability to save notes about friends on your friend list. So now I can write in there that Barry always gives me a hard time about not playing the games I said I was going to play. I can put that in my notes if I want to.
Xeno
But
Xenoblade X.
exactly. um, uh, Sure. And then, yeah, there was some updates. Let's just talk about those just real quick. I know that it's real quick, but the next one I want to hit is the game chat stuff, which is more important. So yeah, some updated animations, notes about friends. Barry, is this significant at all?
Actually, the notes about friends is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like literally earlier today, my wife and I were sitting there playing Pocopia, and she's like, "Oh, someone just popped online that is playing Pocopia as well, and I have no idea who they are." I said, "Oh, this person?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, they popped on for me too, and I don't remember who they are either. It must be someone from Final Fantasy that we both knew, and we just didn't
Mm,
know who they were anymore because it's been so long and people change their names, and it's like, oh, it'd be really cool to put notes on who they actually are now, because not everybody, like I don't go by Barry on there, not every, and if it's just if you have like 3 friends or 4 friends, it's easy, But like I see people like, oh, share your friend list and like let's all be friends. And like I don't do that, not because I don't want to be friends with a bunch of people, but because I won't know who anyone is. So that's actually a really good feature, and I will actually be using that.
That's a good point. I did not think about that. However, as soon as you mentioned it, I think back to like, what was it, 2 weeks ago, I saw someone come online as well, and I'm like, I have no idea who that person is. They're on my friends list, but I don't know who they are because, yeah, their username doesn't match their real name at all, and I don't know. So if I do figure out who it is, I can make a little note. Nice. Greg, are you excited about making notes on friends?
Yeah, I think it almost tells me if like you don't know who it is, like where did I get him with the friend from? If it's from Tomo that doesn't exist anymore. Maybe it's time I delete this friend and like don't need to stay friends with this random
I have a
person
lot of
anymore. But
Mundo friends still.
Yeah.
so I mean, even I even had some from like Fire Emblem Heroes and stuff. It was really funny when like Tomo was a thing, and then I was just getting like friend requests on Switch One, and then obviously that just all ports over to Switch Two. But um, I think that's definitely a good feature, so you can at least like have little notes about like who people are and what their current nickname is or whatever, and any other aliases or whatever that you need to list. I mean, it's all good things to be able to have, and obviously it's great that it's not shared with them. So then, like,
Hmm.
you
Or
don't have
is
something.
it? I saw what you put about me, Greg.
I do like that these are also accessible from the Nintendo Switch app, which is really cool. So, because it's so much easier to, I believe, yeah, to see and edit these notes. So, you can type them on your phone a whole lot quicker than you can on the the on-screen keyboard. So that's probably where I would use it a whole lot more than actually on the Switch or Switch 2. It's nice to be able to see it there, but I'll be able to actually edit the notes on the phone app, which is really nice. The next thing is that we got some updates to Game Chat, and that's not to be confused with NintendoFuse Game Chat, of course. Make sure we just draw that line of distinction there. We had it first. But anyway,
We should have
we now
copyrighted that.
yeah, we should have trademarked it. Although I don't know if it was original with us either. But uh, we now, which is so weird that it took this long for them to add this, we now have the ability to invite friends to game chat rooms that you're already participating in. Some friends may not be able to be invited, such as supervised accounts and things like that. So that still is the case for a lot of people. But yeah, so now you don't have to have your entire party figured out when you start the game chat. You can add people later, and then friends that haven't finished the game chat initial setup can also now be invited to game chat. And then it says some friends may not be able to be invited again, such as supervised accounts or those who haven't used a Nintendo Switch 2, which totally makes sense. So you need to have a Switch 2. You can't be under a supervised account. Don't be inviting little kids. But yeah, so you can actually add other people to your game chat. I'm hoping that you can also drop out of that too. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm hoping there's both of those features that are included, but it only talks about adding people later. So, Barry, is this exciting?
I mean, this should have been there from day one. I mean, come
Right?
on. Like that's see, I didn't even know that was a thing. I remember when we did game chat really early on when it launched, and we were able to add like a son into a game chat that you and I were already involved in. So I thought that was always a
Nope.
thing. Oh, you had
Nope.
to recreate it.
I had to recreate it. Or I
Oh,
invited him knowing that he could have to join later. And so I knew he was eventually going to come on, so I invited him first so that the invite stayed open. Yeah.
okay, that's how it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that to me that just
Yeah.
I'm glad it's here. I mean, it should have been there from launch, but since we're not Steve, we're not time travelers. Better late than never.
Yeah. Apparently, also, I forgot to mention the quality of the game screen shared in game chat is also been improved when you expand it. So that's kind of cool. Greg, these updates to game chat excite you?
For sure, but as Barry took the words out of my mouth, better late than never. I mean, it's obviously should have been there from the start. Like you should have always been able to either add, remove people into game chats, and like makes perfect sense why you would need to do that. As somebody might just jump online and you didn't include them because you didn't know they were going to be online, but now you don't have to create a whole new one. You just be like, hey, so and so's on. Let's boom, add them in, and then start playing and enjoy game chat.
Yep. Yep. I'm with you guys. This should have been there from the very beginning. So glad it's there now. Glad the game quality of games that are being shared is also a little better too. That's exciting. Let's keep moving on. We now have the ability to rewind and advance 10 seconds either way with the LR and R. The ZL and ZR buttons when watching full screen video in Nintendo News or the Nintendo eShop. We also now have added the option to add the following data to automatic uploads from albums. So now you can clip the video saved as a screenshot, and also screenshot with added text. So different ways to access that data within the album. They added Portuguese and Russian to game chat voice and speech to text languages and accessibility. And also, the text to speech under accessibility can now be read, can now read the text in albums as well, and during the first time setups, which is really, really helpful when you're first setting up your Switch 2 if you need that kind of accessibility feature. And let's see, yeah, let's stop there. Some small updates, but I think very helpful as well. Talking about the rewind going forward, updates to album, Portuguese stuff, Portuguese and Russian to those languages added to accessibility, and also some more accessibility to the album. Barry, any that stand out to you as exciting?
I mean, no, but being able to rewind and fast forward again, too better late than never. But those are pretty standard things, and you have the shoulder button to use it. I'm happy for the Portuguese and the Russian speaking users because I understand adding in a whole new language isn't the easiest thing, so I'm glad that they get some representation and ease of use. But yeah, like automatic uploads, you could add like the clip video for albums. Yeah, none of that. Like, not exciting to me. Like,
Yeah,
I use it rarely.
yeah, yeah. Same. Greg, how about you?
Yeah, I think pretty much it was pretty much the order that Barry covered was probably like the most exciting to the least with this grouping, and that was basically the video stuff just kind of makes sense. Like, why weren't you able to fast forward, rewind? I mean, I remember trying to like watch a few trailers like on there, and you don't necessarily want to see like all the story segments. You're just like, here, show me what the game plays like, and you want to be able to like, hop around, but you can't even like fast forward. And so it's like, why
Mhm.
isn't that a thing? But now we can, so that's very great to have that there now. Um, I didn't really use like the automatic upload stuff, but it's obviously great for those that use it. And then, as Barry said, with the new languages, that's always accessibility is always a very important thing. And I think we even had like that thing earlier this year where Nintendo is going to be trying to be a lot more accessible with different things. So it's great to see that they're adding in finally some actual features with that, like with new language supports and also like first time setup stuff with like text to speech.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you guys. And actually, it was here recently. Yet again, I was in, I think the eShop, and I wanted to kind of skip ahead in a trailer, and I couldn't. And so that's great that they've added it. Better late than never. But yeah, some of these things are like, why is this a big deal? Why haven't they added it yet? But I'm glad it's here. And like you said, Greg, accessibility stuff is always going to be a good thing. So moving on, we also getting lots of things in this update. They added the ability to see the breakdown of storage capacity by data type for the system memory and micro SD express card. This was very helpful as I was just moving some games around from my internal storage to my micro SD express card just earlier today, and it was nice to be able to see the breakdown of the storage capacity, so I knew how to manage all that. We also got the ability to perform an audio test if you're using the linear PCM 5.1 surround in the TV sound and audio, so you can actually do that audio test for your surround system. They changed the Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea region to Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, Southeast Asia in the device. So little change there because of how those areas or regions are titled and able, as they go by and in real life, I guess. And then they added, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that because that's a big one. So just talking about the system memory stuff, the surround sound stuff, and the changed region. Barry, any of that excite you? I don't know if you're muted or if you actually no
Yay,
comment. Okay,
yay.
yay.
That's about it. I mean,
Good.
it's great that they did it. None of this is bad, but none of this is earth-shattering, crazy. Oh my God, I got to boot up my Switch right now to see.
Yeah, yeah. Greg, how about you?
I don't know what you're talking about, Barry, but that renaming of the region for Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South Korea, that sounds super critical, and you should check that out right away because that's just like a small label change. But
You know, I think you could check it out for me, and I'll live vicariously through you.
yeah, the storage thing is the one that makes the most sense this time around. Is again like why wasn't this there before? You should be able to see how much storage is being used and like what's left and how much is in one place versus the other. Like that's kind of makes pretty good sense to show when you have that kind of stuff. So as we've been saying with other things, better late than never. But
Yep,
yeah.
yep. Well, possibly the biggest news in this update is that they've added a handheld mode boost to the Nintendo Switch software handling in the system itself. And so this basically will cause compatible Switch software to run as if it were in TV mode. So some of the functionality may be affected. So if you now have one of those games that once you've enabled that on your system, if it had touch control, then that touch control may not actually be able to function because effectively what the system is being told is it is docked. So if touch control is disabled during while it's docked, then you're not going to be able to actually use it. However, when it's in handheld boost mode or mode boost, they surely should have called it boost mode. Handheld mode boost. That the game will take advantage of the Switch 2 hardware and be able to give us a a dock like mode when we're playing Switch 1 games in handheld mode, which sounds pretty awesome. I haven't tried it out yet, but it sounds really cool. And because one of the big things to why this is a big deal, number one, it's going to look better and you have a better experience, but that Switch 2 screen is a 1080p screen. And so before you're running 720p games on there from Switch 1, now you're going to be able to use the full resolution if that game is normally boosted up to 1080p when it's in docked. Now you're going to be able to have that in handheld mode when played on the Switch 2. So Switch 1 games boosted up to dock mode when on Switch 2 and handheld. Barry, you excited about this?
Yeah, that's the best thing on the whole thing. Like it's honestly a game changer for a lot of games because it's almost like getting a portable Switch 2 edition if you think about it, uh, for free with no issues. Obviously, if there's a Switch 2 edition, I don't think this would apply, but for games that are Switch 1 only, there are devs that are looking at this now and they're actually taking advantage of this and they're putting updates specifically to enhance boost mode even further, knowing that it is a thing now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Greg, what are your thoughts?
No, I'm almost kind of like half and half on this one. I mean, like, yes, it's a great feature to have, as Barry just said. It would be really great to have better visuals and better performance and all of that kind of stuff. But um, could this be an issue where it's going to be draining a lot more of the battery a lot quicker because it's trying to do more with the system? And I already know a lot of people already have issues with the battery to begin with, especially with like Mario Kart World and sleep mode. It just kind of just saps out all the battery life. So
Well, you
I don't
can
know.
enable boost mode in the
Yeah.
options. So if you turn it
Yeah.
off, if you're worried about that, then you don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
but
it.
that I mean, that was my thing. So if you were gonna like turn it on because you want to be in handheld mode, then you wouldn't get like possibly the same amount of like time like hours coverage on the battery life if this is more intensive and needs more resources to up like show the better quality graphics and everything. But I don't know. I guess time will tell on if people do a deep dive on this or not, or if but maybe I'm just making stuff up and it doesn't even apply. I don't really know for sure. It just kind of sounds like a boost mode might be kind of something that further drain the battery down in my eyes, at least.
Yeah. It should. I would be surprised if it doesn't, because it's essentially using more of the system on a chip and all that sort of thing to really, use all of that to simulate a Switch 1 game being in the dock. So I'd be surprised if it doesn't drain the battery faster, but how much? I don't know if I haven't seen any tests yet to show that off yet. But I'm excited to try it out, as I'm gonna be like I've been traveling quite a bit over the last several months, and so yeah, I'll be playing more in handheld mode. I'll probably go to some Switch One games over the next couple weeks and see what happens and see if it's a better experience. And then the last several things, kind of not too exciting, but for me who's traveling, there's some updates to airplane mode. However, before I get into the details here, why we need this is beyond me, because the Nintendo Switch 2 or Switch 1 does not have a cellular antenna in it, and therefore you can leave on Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and NFC and whatever you want when you're on an airplane, because that stuff doesn't matter. It's the cellular function on your phone or your iPad or whatever that you need to turn off. So why it even has an airplane mode is beyond me. But anyway, the following features were added to airplane mode. So when airplane mode is activated, the previously set preferences for Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, NFC while in airplane mode will be saved and applied. So whatever you chose one time, it'll be applicable the next time instead of resetting every time. And it also added the ability to individually enable or disable Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or NFC during airplane mode, rather than just turning them all off or on or whatever from the quick settings. And then also they added some updates to parental controls, where we can now see the ability to see have the ability to see the notification on the smart device application when the parental controls pin is input successfully on the console. So if you're a parent and you're looking over for your young children, things like this are very helpful. So you actually have a little more knowledge about what's happening on your kids' Switch 2. And then also there was some general system stability improvements to enhance the user's experience as well, just making it more stable, of course. So, Barry, what do you think of these last couple updates?
The parental control thing is really cool. Well, I don't know if it's also for Switch 1 because I don't
Mm.
know, if other toddlers are like mine, but I'm sure they are. They like to throw things. They like to just have little tantrums, and getting them a 500 or 450 or whatever $100 machine. No, not for the first. Like Switch 1 is perfectly fine. He hasn't played any video games in his life, so he's got a good enough library. So if that's on the Switch 1 as well, that is something that we'll definitely be using. General system stability is always a positive. I didn't notice a change, honestly, playing before and after the update, but that's okay. No, no news is good news. No, it not being any worse is good for me.
Yeah, yeah. And, no thoughts on the airplane mode stuff for all the airplane travel that you do?
No, it's fine.
Greg, any thoughts?
I mean, I understand like if the Switch doesn't have like a cellular thing, but I mean, I always hear like them to say anything that has airplane mode, you're supposed to put it in there. So I mean, I don't know if it's constantly searching for a Wi-Fi signal, if that still can be disruptive to the flight process, but I do know there was like one Southwest flight I was on at least like 8 or so years ago where they were calling out people that were connected to like Wi-Fi and cellular and stuff, and like, oh well, this person's like whatever iPhone, please turn it into airplane mode or whatever. So I don't know. I don't really know a lot
Man, that's
about that stuff,
shaming. I
but
love it.
yeah, that was like when Southwest was trying to be edgy. But yeah, but
Can they do that in
with
movie
their
theaters? Hey, John
Yeah.
BV5, put your phone into silent mode. We know it's not. If
Yeah.
someone calls you, this theater is authorized to kick the crap out of you.
That's right. The person sitting in seat G12, please turn off your phone.
Yeah, that would be incredible for a situation like that. But yeah, I mean, I would think that would want like Wi-Fi settings, like for if you're in flight and you have it in airplane mode, in case you do buy the like $80 Wi-Fi package or whatever it seems like it costs these days. But I'm obviously over exaggerating. But um, I think it makes sense to have that kind of stuff there for like any other setting, like just to have those options at least. I mean, you
Sure.
obviously don't need to like turn on Wi-Fi if unless the game like somehow requires it or whatever. But
Yeah.
most Switch games have like the offline mode, and you could just be fine in standard airplane mode with no internet connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, the notification thing is great. That kind of links up to what you said earlier with the supervised accounts. That's a good reminder to make sure that your kids are on supervised accounts, so you can't just get added into random game chats with strangers and all that stuff. So please use the parental controls type stuff and make sure that's all like it's great to see that they're continuing to add more security and stuff around that. And then yeah, their tagline of general stability. That's I think we're all get a good laugh out of that one because that's part of every single update they ever do. So
Yeah, just a further update, because I do fly quite a bit. You can leave on your Wi-Fi all the time because the Wi-Fi on the plane is on all the time. Southwest now includes it with your if you're as long as you're a Southwest member or whatever, you get it for free now, and so it's ready and usable all the time. And people are using their Bluetooth headphones and using the Wi-Fi, and I don't know about NFC, but I would be okay. I would assume it's okay as well. So I'm still confused about this, like why it even has. I understand maybe a quick button to turn off all communication functions on your Switch. Maybe it saves some battery, but don't call it airplane mode because we don't need an airplane mode because there's no cellular. Like that's the only thing you really need to turn off. Like
Now,
it
could you
makes no
yeah,
sense.
imagine?
I yeah.
Could you imagine the pilot just be like, "I'm sorry, we just took a nosedive and lost, dropped 2,000 feet because someone decided to use an amiibo on their Switch in sections G. Would you stop scanning your figures?"
Exactly. Uh, I don't understand, but hey,
Oh, that's funny.
have some
I mean,
control
it
there.
might be. I mean, to kind of further that point, it might be a compliance thing because it might just be like if it has so much of like processing power, a computer of so much it needs to have an airplane mode, even though there's zero cellular. I don't know. I don't.
That's true.
Could be something like that. It could be like a regulation that they have to have
Yeah, and it
that.
it could
But
be to your point as well. It could be a regional regulation thing that is just doesn't exist in the United States. And so I
yeah,
am talking about all domestic travel within the U.S. And so I'll admit that I have no idea what travel would be like domestically in the UK or some other country in the world or even international, like between countries. Maybe there's further regulations on them. I don't think so because I feel like almost every flight has Wi-Fi anymore. However, I'll be up to, I'll throw that out there that there's something that I don't know, and this is why it exists.
Now, here a question, because like when I flew to Vegas, I still actually put my Switch 1 into airplane mode. Do you put it in airplane mode or do you just leave it?
I've never used airplane mode on my Switch or Switch 2.
I did. I'm like, oh, I guess I should do that. Sure, whatever.
No.
see, like every flight I've been on, I put it in airplane mode. But I don't know if it's just me thinking
Steve's just
that's
a
somehow
rebel.
saving battery. I know. I usually have like
No.
the more the rebel like with my phone or like iPad, not like trying to put it on there, but it's only if I'm using it, then I usually try to put it on there, but
Greg's like, the thing with cellular, I'm not doing it. The thing without cellular, airplane mode.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing, so not only will it potentially drain your battery quicker because you're trying to ping off towers up there, but it could be like, so it plays. Here's why we have airplane mode on cellular phones is because it can mess up their radio system. And so I don't know if you guys have ever heard, like, if you've been in a place with a sound system and someone had like, it goes like, has weird sounds on the speakers and some different things when people are searching for signal. That kind of thing can be on the pilot's radio system, and so it could potentially interfere with their incredibly needed communication while they're trying to fly us safely. And so that's really the reason. It's not necessarily going to like cause the flight to um, crash, but if we are going down, they need to be able to have good communication with them, meaning that Wi-Fi and NFC and Bluetooth is not going to cause any interference. It's just the slightly like. So please, if I am wrong, let me know in the comments. I would gladly love to learn something new, but that is based on all the stuff that I've researched and know about it. So I don't think it's necessary. But anyway, um, quick thing before we move on to a little bit more discussion is a little bit of breaking news. We forgot to include this in there, but Barry just popped this on our private chat that Marvel Rivals has been confirmed for Nintendo Switch 2. So it's officially coming out to Switch 2. I think we've kind of assumed it was going to. Last year we heard that the team was gonna was looking into bringing it to the Switch, but yeah, it's officially coming out to Switch 2. So you guys excited about Marvel Rivals, Barry?
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it. I'm not. It kind of reminds me of back when playing Star Wars Hunters, which I really enjoyed on the Switch until they killed that game.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I love Marvel, and I've heard nothing but good things about Rivals. So I could play it on PlayStation. I have it, but I just something about Switch I just prefer. So you'd be like, oh, pretty cool. I'll give it a try for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Greg, you gonna check it out?
I mean, it depends. I'll be looking at some trailers and stuff. I mean, I'm not the hugest into like the Marvel stuff, but I understand if I do want to see the Nintendo World in Florida, that's part of the Epic like, Marvel verse or whatever. It's basically there, so it could be something that I become more acquainted with over time now. Is when I have to go check out that park. So could be something I could check out in the near future. It's not like I don't know any of the characters. I mean, I know like who, like obviously like who the Hulk and stuff is, but it's not something that's normally immediately on my radar, but it's still great to see if there's gonna be a Switch 2 version for everyone that is a big fan of the series and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big Marvel fan, but I haven't really gotten into this kind of thing. The like other games like this. So it's cool that it's coming to Switch 2 though. That's exciting. And I may check it out. If they do a demo or something like that, I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, I don't get into this type of game as much. Because it's kind of similar to Pokemon Unite, right, Barry? Is that my
No,
no, it's
no.
like because it's a
Pokemon
6v6
Unite is
kinda
a
game.
MOBA. This is more like Overwatch. It's like a hero shooter type thing. It's a
Okay.
hero,
Well, yeah,
but
but
it's
I
third
mean,
person
it's a versus kinda game rather than
It's a versus
progressing.
game. It's just
Yeah,
not like top-down MOBA style. It's more, like Star Wars Hunters. It's,
sure.
third person,
Yeah,
on the ground doing things.
got it. Yeah, that's kinda what I meant. I didn't mean, yeah, direct comparison in there. Um,
Okay.
but,
The
yeah,
I do have a post I want to bring attention to something we talked about earlier.
sure.
Because we were talking about Pokemon Champions.
Mhm.
I happen to see this is from Central Leaks. Because you both talked about if you play, you're gonna play free.
Mhm.
So for the free to play players, wanted to bring something to their attention. This is what everything you do in the game takes VP. That's the currency in there. At least for Pokeball League, which is the lowest league, you get 200 VP per battle. Now, it's not the only way you can get VP. You can get VP from the Battle Pass. You can get the free Battle Pass and the paid Battle Pass and all these other things. Costs for things, keeping in mind that if you don't do anything and you're just talking per battle, 200 VP per battle, it takes 2,500 VP to recruit a Pokemon. Megastones are 2,000 VP each. Changing a Pokemon's move is 250 VP. Maximizing a Pokemon's single stat is 330 VP. Changing the nature of a Pokemon is 500 VP. And changing an ability is 500 VP. So, you can tell they're really wanting you to pay. Now, granted, you do get some extra VP for free, but just at least in the Pokeball League, the starting league, 200 per battle. It's going to take a lot of battles to do a lot of stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, do you actually get to
That's
pick your IV, or is it gonna like be just re-randomized?
No, so they removed IVs. It's just EVs
Oh,
now. So every Pokemon is equal, and then you get to choose what stats to put the EVs in. So you could take, I have a Blastoise, and I want to make him full on special attack and full on defense because I feel that's the best for him. You can do that and just maximize it. And then if I have a Blastoise, it's the same Blastoise, and I can say, well, I want mine to be speedy and boost his special defense. And now our Blastoises are 100% equal, except for the EVs we did. IV is no longer a thing. So it's not like, well, you have a perfect Blastoise and mine's the okay,
mhm,
a Blastoise at home. They're all equal. So they streamlined it, which is a very good
mhm,
thing.
yeah. 'Cause
So
I know there are some games that kind of like randomize stats and stuff. So I was hoping that if you're paying real money, that you'd at least get to pick which ones you want to
that's
increase and not like just get a re-roll and just be like, oh well,
correct.
I just
So
paid money
that's
and now it's worse than the one that I had before.
Correct. That's why it's to max one stat at 330 VP, but you're choosing which stat you want to max. So if you have
mhm,
the Blastoise, it's the same Blastoise everyone else has. So you're going into battle as everyone else's Blastoise. It's just what you choose to do the EV in. That's it. Otherwise, they're equal. And I think that's very smart to let anybody
Oh,
join him.
definitely agree. If
yeah.
I'm paying money, I want to be able to pick which stats I want to
You
do.
absolutely can.
Yeah.
You could do it for free too. Like I said, you could do 2 battles and max the stats. So if you do, you know, 3 battles, you can max the 2 stats because it's 2 stats you can max, and then you got like 2 extra to put in whatever else you want.
Mhm,
So pretty much you do 2 battles, you can max the stat, which isn't terrible. That's not terrible at all. It's just like if you want Pokemon 2,500, so you're going to be doing quite a bit of battles just to get a new Pokemon
sure.
permanently in the game.
Yeah.
So it's doable.
Unless you wanna, I guess, bring him in from home.
Then it's temporary. Then it's only
Sure.
visiting. But yeah,
Yeah.
you can absolutely do that. You can just bring them in from home, and you remember you also get one per day that will last for a week. So if you play every day, you're getting a new Pokemon for a week every day for free as well.
Yeah. 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 It'd be interesting to see how it all shapes out.
Are you able
But
to
yeah, I think
change it? So say like you did increase like whatever defense and special, are you able to say like maybe this isn't a good combination anymore and now I want to increase
yes.
like attack and special or whatever? Like
Yeah,
you could
you
just
can change the EVs. It just costs the VP to do it. But yeah, you're not locked into that. No, you can mess around with it.
Mm,
Same with like the nature and stuff like that. Because in Pokemon, like the nature, like it could be like happy and that like boosts its HP, but like all nature boosts something but lowers something else. So it's like, oh, it's lazy, so it lowers its speed, but it ups its defense.
mhm,
So there is a min max like this Pokemon. It's best with this nature because it lowers special attack, but all its attacks are physical attacks, so you don't need special attack. So lower special attack and up whatever else to help you out. So there's a bunch of different natures to do that, and there's a min maxing and stuff like that. You can look up what's the best nature for each Pokemon,
wow.
and you could change it on the whim. It's not like rolling even. There's no gotcha system. It's literally you pay the VP, you pick the nature, which is
Mm.
also very good that there's no random in that.
Could you imagine the programming that has to go into the balancing of all that? Of
Oh
all
my
those
god.
different variables?
And as far as I'm aware, every Pokemon's in Champions. Like they haven't set any restrictions,
That's ridiculous. Wow.
which is probably what's taking it so long because they announced it a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah. because you don't want all of a sudden get in there and like, well, I know how to win. Just get this Pokemon and do these stats, and you're going to dominate.
You know what, that happens like in Legends ZA. I don't know if you ever played the seasons, which you should because you get Mega Stones that are exclusive there,
I
and
got
it's
still to
stupid
beat the
easy.
game yet.
Oh, you don't have to beat the game. You could just go online and do it. You're capped at 50.
Oh,
Everybody's capped at 50. Even if you bring
oh,
a
okay,
level 1 Pokemon in, it's raised to 50.
okay.
Um, but a lot of people use Garchomp with Earthquake and just
Mm,
dominate. But honestly, like the latest season, I did 2 matches and I got all the Mega Stones. Like
mm,
2 matches was enough. Like that's
nice.
it's. I mean, if you want you do a little worse, maybe it takes 3 or 4. So you could probably get all the Mega Stones in like 10 to 15 minutes, and it's worth it because they're all exclusive.
Uh, I really thought I had to beat the game to do all that stuff.
Nope,
Uh,
no, you don't.
but I need to keep playing the single player game so I can actually beat it. Like, I could easily get distracted by that other stuff. Um, Going to the chat, looks like Smash JC is excited about the Marvel Rivals thing. Definitely going to try it out. Has heard good things. So let's finish up our main discussion with a little. We'll do a quick chat on Nintendo Directs. So we've been getting a lot of random drop things like the Pokemon Champions video today and some other just shadow drops of different Nintendo games that are coming out and stuff like that. We've had some partner directs and we've had some indie showcases and things like that. But Barry, you were telling me that people are getting upset that there's no Nintendo Direct recently. What's that all about?
So a lot of people like to look at history and like to look for patterns. This is nothing new. And Nintendo, the fandom, or at least the YouTube fandom, or the Nintendo YouTubers are no exception. They always look for when was last direct. Oh, we had direct, last January, and therefore we expect one this January. And historically, January, February, there's a direct. Makes sense. It's the beginning of the year. It's post holiday. Let's talk about the spring games. And that's what Nintendo usually has 3 directs a year. Now they have the one in the spring talking about the spring games, which is usually January, February, leading up into it. One in June, the old E3 Direct that talks about summer games and early fall, and then usually one around September to talk about the fall games, winter games, and then a little tease into the next year. That's historically what they do. And this year, people with their brand new Switch 2, at least online, they're saying they have nothing to play. Why is there no direct? Nintendo needs a direct right now because there's nothing to play. And it's pretty funny to see that because historically, Nintendo puts out one game a month on average. Sometimes it's two, sometimes it's three, sometimes it's zero, sometimes it's a game and it's an update. But that's usually what they do. They're a big company. There's a lot of things going on, and they can't. You're not going to get 5 games in a month. It's just not going to happen. This year, look at last year. Last year we had Donkey Kong Country Returns in January, and we had Xenoblade in March, Xenoblade X in March, and then we had like nothing till June. Like that was it. Like the first 5 months of the year, we had 2 things because everything was waiting for Switch 2, and everyone's expecting all these teams are working on the Switch 2. Where are their games? The answer is they're coming. But if you looked at the beginning of this year, January, February, March, April, and now into May, there's at least one game every single month from Nintendo. Already shown off, already announced, and all of these things were dropped like Pokemon Champions today as here's a 3, 4, 5 minute overview. Here it is, or in Tamagotchi's life, got an actual direct. Here it is. This is your stuff. And for whatever reason, people were looking at that or ignoring it and just going, "Where's my 3D Mario? All I care about is 3D Mario and Zelda." If you're sitting there and you're listening to this, even saying, "All I want is 3D Mario and Zelda," if you don't give me that, you have nothing to play. Then go sit in the corner, play something else, play older games, branch out and play some other games, or play even another system. Because Nintendo isn't catering to you. Nintendo is catering to everyone, which means every type of game gets to shine. Period. End of story. Not every game's for you. That's fine. But to say there's nothing, like all I had was Mario Kart and Donkey Kong. There's nothing to play on the Switch too. And I'm like, I can't play all the games I want on the Switch too. How are you saying there's nothing to play? Like, do you only play like 3 types of games, and that's it? Like, broaden your horizon a little bit. Like, there's so many games coming out. And you know what? If you played every game in the backlog that you really, really wanted to play, then mazel tov to you. Just mazel tov. Because, my God, I haven't played all the games I want to play in my backlog, and I know I never will. There's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of games. But if you look at this year, is this the strongest opening of a year? Some people may say no. Some people may say yes. Some people may say in between. I think a lot of people wrote off Pokopia, and it's doing phenomenal. It 2.2 million in 4 days, and it's still going strong. It is absolutely selling systems. That is huge, and people wrote it off. Oh, that's a nothing game. January had Animal Crossing, and it had the 3.0 update, which was free. Their game was literally free, and they had the Switch 2 upgrade. They gave us a Donkey Kong Country Returns HD update with new content for free, and people complain. February, we had Mario Tennis Fever, and the big complaint is the adventure mode isn't what I wanted. It's not a full-fledged, it's more of a glorified tutorial. It has some fun stuff. Who cares? The tennis is fantastic. The online is great. The other modes are great. Do the freaking 100 tower, the trial tower. If you've done that with 3 stars, then you have a reason to talk. There's so much content in that game. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal game. You had Xenoblade Chronicles X had a Switch 2 edition. You had Pokopia this month. You have Mario Wonder. You have like so much. You have Tamagotchi Life next month. Pokemon Champions. Yoshi now in May. We know what Nintendo is doing up until May, and Yoshi I think is like May 28th or something. Like it's the end of May. So don't expect anything until June, in my opinion. Don't expect anything until June. That's why they had the partner direct to showcase third parties. That's why we had Indie World. That's why we have these other showcases. We have a Mario movie as well thrown in there. We have so much from Nintendo. And if you're expecting more, then you've never looked at Nintendo before. Because Nintendo historically has never given us more than 2 games really a month because they don't want to cannibalize on them. Nintendo games are more events. And if one of them's not for you, that's okay. Then you have a month to play backlog or other games until the next one comes out. And you're going to see that more and more going forward. You're going to see more Switch 2 editions. You're probably going to see more Wii U ports for the Switch's life. But it's so crazy to me to see big YouTubers and big influencers and people with these audiences going out there and spouting uneducated bull in reality, and they're getting angry. Where is my direct? This is doomsday for Nintendo. They have nothing to show off. The truth is they do. They have games to show off, but they learned from Metroid Prime 4 not to show off a game too early. Anything they show off now, let's say they have a direct and they show off Zelda, brand new Zelda, they tease. Remember Breath of the Wild's tease? We all thought, like, not we, but like a lot of people thought Link was now a girl. They was, oh my God, Link's now a girl. That didn't help anything. We don't need to see it. We know it's coming. We know it's coming. Just be patient. Learn patience. 3D Mario. Where's 3D Mario? We know it's coming. So what if they showed us off? New Zelda, new 3D Mario, new F-Zero, new Kid Icarus, new everything you could ever want. You know what you're going to do? You're going to sit there and go, I'm not buying anything until those come out because that's what I want. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to cannibalize the games that are coming out. Nintendo doesn't want to do that. Their focus is on the games coming out now. Come summer, I'm sure you'll get a direct. I'm sure you'll get some kind of showcase to show the new games that are coming out then. But even now, I see Nintendo tweet stuff like Animal Crossing in January, and people are harping on them in the comments like, that's 2 months ago. Why are you doing this now? We don't care. No, you don't care. There are tons of people that do care, and their job is to continuously market and sell the games. This is their time to shine. This is what they're doing. You don't have to like it, but that's the way business works. And and this is going to be my last drop before I go to you guys. And this might hurt some people. This might ruin people's lives. This might send them into a crippling depression that they will never recover from. But I'm going to lay out the truth for you here. Nintendo is not making games exclusively for you and your tastes. They do not work for you. They are not that company. They are making games for everybody. And if that upsets you, then I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Don't have to like every game, but if the game you want isn't coming out just yet or hasn't been announced, play something else. It will come in time. And if you don't believe me, look at the history. And if you're an F-Zero or a Star Fox fan, you have a reason to complain. But that's it. If you're Mario or Zelda, you're fine, okay? You're good. Play Hyrule Warriors. That came out. That's a Zelda exclusive on Switch too. Have you played that? Oh, it's a spin-off. It's still canon. Go play it and shut up.
And I think we're done.
You should make that a YouTube short there, Steve. There's a little rant thing.
I don't know if that's a short or a long, but yeah. 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 I agree. Greg, thoughts?
I mean, I agree 100%, but I did want to have one little like caveat. Everyone knows from the history of the Nintendo Directs, they do usually show like the games that are still coming out and already previously announced, and then they can show other stuff. But obviously, they're not really ready to show most of the things like after that. So, we don't have to have everything that's coming from June through the rest of the year, like here in February, but because obviously that could eat into some of the sales for the games that are coming out in like later in March here in April. So, I mean, unfortunately, have to wait for the next direct, but I mean, Nintendo usually is no stranger to actually show like, hey, here's Yoshi's book story, like here's like a new trailer for it or whatever. Here's another mode that we're adding into the game or something like that. And then they continue on saying, "Hey, and you can check this. There's another game coming out here like later this year, and here's a trailer for it. Like here's the teaser for Zelda or whatever." I mean, I think that's what they're trying to get at is saying like they could still technically show and tease stuff like that, but I mean it's very understandable from everything that Barry said that they don't absolutely need to at this point. And yeah, I think they did get kind of burned with Breath of the Wild and how like they showed it off, and then it was like 3 or 4 years later that we got like the game. So, um, and they immediately announced
Yep.
we were getting a sequel, and then it was like another 3 years since we got like Tears of the Kingdom. So, I think they kind of had to bite some lessons, especially with Metroid Prime 4. Like, oh, it's progressing nicely, and then like a month later, oh, we decided to scrap the entire project. We're starting it over, and now a new studio is covering it. So please understand. Like, and then now it's basically a Switch 2 game that just came out in last December. So
And
it's
if you look at history, even talking Zelda, right? You mentioned Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were both announced early. Absolutely, they didn't need to be, but they were. Heck, there was a whole joke that Star Fox Zero was like announced and released before, like in between the announcement of Breath of the Wild and release of Breath of the Wild. But look at the past few Zelda games, right? Or something like Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity was just announced and like almost dropped. Echoes of Wisdom came out of nowhere. No one expected it, and it released like a month or two after. And everyone was like, that's great. We're excited for this game, and we don't have to wait too long. And the next direct, whenever it happens, probably in June, is going to open with like Fire Emblem, and people are going to go like, "Oh, well, we already knew about that." Well, of course we did, but we still have to show it. And again, we still have Fire Emblem, we still have Rhythm Heaven, we still have Splatoon Raiders, all games announced that we still don't know when release dates for. And those could be the next. Those could be June, July, and August, and people would be like, "Oh my God, where's the new stuff?" We knew this is like the first year that we've known this many games before the year calendar change is over. That is insane. Last year we went into it going, we knew Donkey Kong, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like even Xenoblade X, I think, was announced in the spring, like the February direct or whatever to come over.
Mhm.
That was it. We're like, what's for 2026? We knew Switch 2 and Donkey Kong Country returns, and that was it. Now we're coming to 2026 or 2025. I mean, 2026. We've coming in for so many games that we know of.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that's the big thing that stands out to me too is it's not like Nintendo stopped releasing trailers and information. They're just shadow dropping it and releasing it out there because, like you said, Barry, if they put all those things in a direct, which they could, you know what would happen? Everybody would be so upset that they released that kind of information in a direct. They're like, "Oh, that was the worst direct I've ever seen," and blah blah blah. So like
Yep.
we can't make people happy, but here's the deal. Like that always happens. People are always going to complain on the internet. It's been happening ever since Ross Perot invented it a long time ago, or whoever invented it.
Oh
But
Lord, maybe.
but like what you're pointing out is now happening are people that normally understand these things are now complaining about it.
Correct.
And like, no, like why all of a sudden are you not getting this thing that's been the case ever since Nintendo has been doing directs and ever since they've had a YouTube channel and ever since they've been putting their information out like this? You should know better. You really should know better. Like
Yeah.
and stop complaining.
We also
I mean,
had
there's
Virtual Boy drop too, like a whole
Yeah,
NSO app dropped during this
totally.
time period too.
Yeah. What were you saying, Greg?
I was going to say, like, I mean, I also understand a lot of the YouTubers do cover a lot of the rumors and speculations, and it seems like there's like one every single week, like, oh, Nintendo Direct next week, oh, Nintendo Direct next week, Nintendo Direct next week, and then they always want to be right. They're like, I was the first one to call it. I was there right away. I said it was coming this specific day, and I was right. Look at me, like, celebrate me, and like, I think that's what a lot of it is, and now they're having to face the truth and I don't know, maybe they're even getting hate for liking the Switch too, because I know a lot of people don't like the standards that it's set with like the higher priced games and how expensive like Joy-Con controllers and Pro controllers are and accessories and basically every single thing that's tied to the Switch 2 is in their eyes making the gaming world a lot worse. And but I mean it's I don't know, it's probably some sort of combination of things and just maybe hatred just gets more clicks. I don't know.
Oh, 1000%. That's a YouTube now is all hatred. People will put the word they said what dot 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 as the title. Like I can't believe this happened or did you
Clickbait.
see this terrible thing in the yeah, it's all clickbait. The
Yeah.
whole thing is clickbait. It's all I'm going to be as negative as possible because it's like I always use this example like local groups here. I see this all the time on Facebook. If someone goes to a mall, let's just say, and a fight breaks out in the parking garage, they'll have to rush home and post on Facebook, "Oh my God, a fight broke out in the mall," and all the comments are, "That mall's gone downhill. I never go there. Oh, all I hear is bad news. Oh, it's ghetto. Blah blah blah." And all I can think of is how many people out there in the world, and I'm sure there's one, but go out shopping. Go out, and immediately come home and go, I have to go on Facebook and tell everybody I had a wonderful shopping experience and like no, people don't do that. They thrive on the negativity.
Yeah.
They thrive on the drama and that's it. You don't so a billion people go and have a great time and one person sees a fight and suddenly it's all downhill. No.
Yeah.
You are the exact reason what's wrong with the society. Like seriously.
Yeah.
This is what's wrong. This is why social media has ruined it. The same thing. The same thing's happening in gaming. Everything I can't tell you how many videos I've watched over the last, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks that has mentioned the Virtual Boy and mentioned headaches, going blind, blah, 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 from kids who are like 18 years old. I'm like, B, you weren't alive when the Virtual Boy came out. You only heard this secondhand from other people who
Yeah.
are already exaggerating it. And no, the NSO Virtual Boy is different than the actual Virtual
Yeah.
Boy. And I guarantee you didn't even try the NSO version because it didn't give you headaches. But it's still they're parroting. That's all they could do is parrot what they hear and they think that makes them credible. Like, oh, I know this cool thing. No, no, you weren't there. Say, I've heard this, but I've never tried this. I saw somebody say like Mario Tennis is the worst tennis game ever. No, on Virtual Boy. I'm like, no, it's not. It doesn't have any big bells and whistles that other Mario Tennis games do, but it's a great tennis game,
Yeah.
and the 3D effects work fine. And it
Yeah.
was 1995. You know,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna get stuff that didn't. Oh, how come Bowser Jr. wasn't in it? Because he didn't freaking exist yet.
Right.
Like, come on.
Bowser
But
hasn't had
that's
his
it.
kids yet.
Yeah.
That's
He was still a
what
bachelor.
happens. He's still a bachelor. Donkey Kong Jr.'s in that game. Even Donkey Kong didn't make it. But, it's one of those things where people just they it's unbelievable how negative they are at. And Greg, I think you point out something with negativity towards Nintendo in general. People look at Mario Kart World and go $80, Nintendo's setting a precedent. But they're not. It's the only $80 game. Keep in mind, that's still cheaper than some games were back in the 90s, but kids don't know about that.
Hmm.
Um, you had
Dads
you
can
had a
buy them then.
7 they didn't. They weren't alive.
But they got headaches for Virtual Boy.
They did
Yeah.
somehow. I think what Kirby was 70, and the Switch 2 editions of Metroid and Pokemon I think were 70,
Hmm.
and Mario Tennis was 70, but others aren't. Others are 60 or 50 or 40. It's variable pricing, and that's the way they're going to go. And whenever someone says, "What's it worth?" Like, "Oh, Mario Tennis isn't worth $70 to me," that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But that doesn't make it a bad game, and that doesn't make it actually too expensive either. If it's not good for you, doesn't mean it's not worth it for other people. Would it be better if it was $20 or $30? Of course. Who wants to spend more money? But you have to be realistic. And so many people think that companies work for them. That, "Oh, you're doing this, I expect it for free." And again, Animal Crossing 3.0 was free. The Donkey Kong Country Returns update was free. This boost mode thing they did now is free. They've already given us some free stuff this year alone, and they'll continue to do this free content update. They'll continue to give free performance because that's what they do. Just not everything gets that. And if the problem is when one game gets it, they expect it across the board. Yet, if you have to buy an upgrade, they don't expect that across the board. It works one way. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I can't hang out with the cool. I'm Steve Buscemi, with the skateboard and everything, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, it's hit because these kids, I just don't understand them anymore. It's like I don't understand why they're acting like this is so foreign. There's no new Nintendo Direct, like a proper Nintendo Direct. Nintendo's doomed. That's it. They're doomed. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, they've plenty to show off. They're just not showing it off that far in advance. They don't need to.
Yeah.
The system is selling, and yes, I know they just cut projections supposedly according to Bloomberg by 2 million units. Again, doom and gloom. They overproduced because they wanted to make sure there was supply.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's not doom and gloom. It's still selling faster than every other console except the GBA. Okay,
Right.
we're fine. Not doom and gloom. Procopia is selling like crazy. That's an underappreciated hit. That's going to continue to sell. That's the Animal Crossing. That's going to sell units and continue. And if they're smart, they will add DLC to that game in
Mm.
addition to events and keep that going because that will continue to sell. But I mean, there's plenty out there. And if you think a lot of people, and us included, thought Winds and Waves was going to be this holiday game, when it was announced for next year, people like Nintendo has nothing this holiday now. What? It's February. They haven't announced it yet. Like I'm sure they have something. I'm sure that Game Freak announcing this didn't just make Nintendo go, "Wait, what? I thought this was happening this year. We have nothing going on. What are we doing? We don't communicate." Of course you communicate. They've got stuff planned. There could be. I mean, I would imagine a 3D Mario being announced for the movie would be smart, but we got Mario Wonder instead. So there'll be if there's not a 3D Mario this year, there'll be one next year. There'll be a Zelda this year or next year. Maybe another game will shine. Maybe they'll bank on Fire Emblem. Maybe Star Fox will make a return. Maybe we'll have an F-Zero. Maybe a brand new IP. Maybe Earthbound, 64 will make a miraculous comeback and we'll get the game that we never got. Or Mother 3 will come out. Who knows? But it's so funny to think doom and gloom. Nintendo's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, they make some dumb decisions, don't get me wrong. I mean, I still think Mario Kart World should have had DLC by now, I think they should keep it going. Maybe Smash magically comes out of nowhere. Who knows? That's the fun. It's speculation. It's fun. Just don't get your expectations too high, and just try to have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, it's video games. Stop being so crazy about it. And in the mortal words of Joker, why so serious?
Greg, any closing thoughts on this Nintendo Direct
Hmm.
fiasco?
Yeah, just like that. One older meme, like a Nintendo doomed since like 1890 or whatever it was, like when they opened.
Yeah. Yeah. Go into the chat real quick. Looks like Smash JC, who is actually Jim from Pure Nintendo. So excited to have you there in the chat. Yeah, lots of things, but basically saying totally agree with all that we've been saying, especially Barry. And yeah, we may end up clipping that out and sharing it. Who knows? Because maybe the world needs to hear Barry's rant, and if that's the case, then maybe we'll clip it out and share it as a separate video as well. But yeah, also 100% agreeing with the good experiences not being reported on. Yeah, that's 100%. Like we talked so much about negative because that gets the clicks, that gets the comments, that gets the algorithm, and we need to be saying some more stuff about the good things. So
Yeah,
we have
be
great
positive.
games out there, tons of backlog. Go enjoy them. Go enjoy them. And when the next Mario 3D game comes out, it's going to be exciting. But you got plenty to play in before then. Do I want to play it? Absolutely. Do I want to play it tomorrow? Absolutely. If it's ready, I'll play it tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. But until then, I've got a huge backlog of games that I can play in the meantime.
Same. I mean, I would love to be in the position to say like, "Hey, I have 0 games on my backlog." That would be outstanding. And then
Right?
I could just be like, "Hey, I could just pop in like a few like NES games and just kick back and enjoy it and not feel like I'm wasting time because I have my backlog is so big." Like,
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you still have what, Hyrule Warriors and Kirby Air Riders still from Christmas that you
yep.
haven't played. They're
Yeah.
both great games.
And Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4. Like
Yeah.
like there. You're
Yeah.
good. Like this week we have
Yeah, I
Mario
know.
Wonder. This week we have Life is Strange coming out. And like I'm still playing Monster Hunter and Pokopia. Like what am I gonna
Yep. Yep. Well, speaking of games and new games coming out, we do have like Mario Wonder DLC and updates and things like that. Unfortunately, Life is Strange not coming to at least announced for Switch yet, but we do have some other games that are coming out over the next couple weeks. Let's talk about those real quick and what we are going to be playing. On March 31st, we've got Super Meat Boy 3D. On April 1st, right alongside the Super Mario Galaxy movie, we've got Goat Simulator 3 coming to the Switch. And also, we got right after our next episode, which is going to be on April 7th, on April 8th, we've got Pokemon Champions, which is what we've been talking about quite a bit on this episode. Uh, Barry, are those games exciting to you, or is there anything else that stood out to you over the next couple weeks?
Yeah, those games are exciting. In fact, I'll probably be messing around with Super Meat Boy 3D. I really enjoyed the first one. And my main goal is I Sonic. We have Mega Man and Proto Man coming to Sonic Racing this week. So I'm doing the festival there, and that's the one DLC I've been super excited for. Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection is coming out the end of this week too,
Mm,
which I actually never got to really play the Star Force games much. So it's like, oh, I'm excited for that. Mario Wonder DLC, Life is Strange, not on Switch unfortunately, but that's coming. And there's a Tetris 99 thing happening this weekend as well. Another
sure.
Max, or maybe it's the weekend after. Like there's just so much going on. I'm still playing Monster Hunter. I'm still playing Pocopia. I never went back to Witch in the Holy Night. I still got to go back and finish that because I stopped for Pocopia. So it's like all this is happening, and I'm already behind in just current stuff that I want to play versus even work stuff or game chat like review stuff that we're playing. So I don't know how these people say there's no games. I'm sorry, I'm overloaded with games.
Yeah.
It's too many. Maybe open up your genres. Play something out of your comfort zone. You'll find some great games. And there's so many indie games. Support indie games. My God, there's so many wonderful games. Sigma Star Saga is coming out. I see on April 7th. That's a game I have on the DS. Oh, no, with the GBA. I'm sorry, it was the GBA. Never got to play it. Heard good things. Now it's coming to Switch. Like, awesome. Like, I look forward to playing that sometime in the next decade.
Yeah. Greg, what are you gonna be playing
Can
over
of
the
Brit
next
the
couple
Spirits
weeks?
is coming out too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, definitely excited for those that are looking forward to the games that we're just scrolling on screen. But for me personally, it's finally going to be tackling some of the backlog and hopefully getting these Christmas games underway because I kind of want to at least be able to say I played them and enjoyed them. And usually, once I get like sucked in, I usually try to go as far as I see as reasonable. I don't try to 100% everything unless it's something that I'm like dedicated to fully do here. So. I mean, already know, like, already, like, Hyrule Warriors is not something that's 100%able, it's more just like, "Hey, I just enjoyed just about, like, all the main levels and stuff,"
Hmm.
Actually, if
so I
you don't
understand.
go to max every character, it's like if you don't count that, everything else is easily 100%able. Like doing all the levels and stuff is easily
Oh, yeah.
done.
Yeah, I mean, Tears I loved so much that I did everything but the Korok seeds and, like, the map stuff, so, like, that stuff felt unimportant, but I still, like, maxed all the armors and everything else in Tears because
Yeah.
that was a lot more enjoyable for me and something I wanted to do, so it's just based game per game is different on how I wanna complete them.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm gonna definitely be spending some time with First Squadron. As especially now that the updates is there, I was holding off, knowing that the update was coming, and so I was just gonna hold off and play it with the update. Tried to get it on today, but I had several other games that were dominating my updates, like FC 26 and some other ones and so First Squadron, unfortunately, it was like buried under a whole bunch of other updates, and so it didn't update in time. So that's why I ended up playing Human Fall Flat instead, and regret every second of it. Uh,
Man, you would have had so much more fun the
I
other way
know,
around.
I know. But yeah, there's several games in my backlog that I need to spend some time with. I don't think any of these new, I mean, Pokemon Champions, but again, that's after the next episode. Um, but as far as new games, I don't think there's anything that I'm excited about. Updates, of course, to Mario Wonder and things like that are very exciting. Um, but yeah, I don't think there's anything new, which is awesome because I've got several, as we've said, in the backlog that I need to get to. So that'd be fun.
There's also a new Virtual Fighter, or at least the Virtual Fighter 5 version coming
Oh,
to Switch too, which is like the first time that Virtual Fighter really has been on a Nintendo platform other than like Virtual Console, where the NSO Genesis has the Genesis version of Virtual Fighter 2, but like a native Virtual Fighter, which is really interesting to
yeah,
see.
it's true. Yeah,
And I think it's cheap. I think it's like $20 or something like that, unless you want like the higher end, which is
nice.
pretty good for a 3D fighter. I had fun with the demo, so that's cool that it's even coming out.
That is. Well, I know we're super excited about the Mario movie coming April 1st. Again, we're going to be talking about that, doing a spoiler movie chat on April 2nd. Again, that's 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific. If you guys want to tune in, if you've watched it already, I would encourage you, don't get spoiled by us. Go and actually watch the movie before you come and hear us talk about it. Unless you're just like that and you're like, I don't really care. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are before I go see it. And if that's the case, then join us live. But if not, this will be on archive and you can actually, check it out later after you watch the movie. But again, that's going to be on April 2nd, 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Time. We'll be here to chat about the movie. And then our next episode will be recorded live on April 7th. And that'll be Barry and Greg without me. So hopefully, you guys have some fun. Don't have too much fun without me, though. Don't too much fun.
Oh,
Be
you're
Barry,
gonna
any
rip
have
on
closing?
fun,
sea
Barry.
power.
Yeah, yeah. Barry, any closing thoughts?
I mean, just try and stay positive, like we said. There's so many games coming out. There's so much negativity in this world already. Don't add to it. Try and be the beacon of positivity. Try to be the beacon of reason. Try to look for the joy, because we're here on this planet for a very short time, some shorter than others. Just try and enjoy yourself. If there's a game you like, play it. If there's a game you don't like, that's fine. Don't rain on people who like it. Just move on to another game. It's not that big of a deal. And in the end of the day, it's your opinion. And someone could say, "This is my favorite game. This is my." It's fine. We all have our own favorites. We all have our things we love. Harp on those. Focus on the things you love, and just have fun with it. Don't focus on the negativity. Tearing down a game you don't like. What are you, 5? Like, come on. Just be positive. And if you really think Nintendo doom and gloom, like Greg mentioned, people have been saying it since the 1800s, and they're still incorrect. So get in line. You're not the first person to say it. You're not the last person to say it. And they still, even during the crappy Wii U, 3DS eras, those years which were really, really bad as Nintendo fans, they still turned profit for the most part, and we got through them. So you know what? There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you think this is the worst, oh my God, this is the worst, then this is a really good worst, because we're still getting like 2 games a month, or 2 Nintendo projects a month. That's awesome. Like, let's be happy. And the third party has been there to support it. There's so much there. Resident Evil 9 just came out. I know it's not my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people love Resident Evil 9. Monster Hunter Stories 3, the big third party games from Capcom. You got Mega Man, give Mega Man some love. That's coming out this month. Virtual Fighter, like I mentioned, from Sega. There's so many Square Enix, as games coming out. Final Fantasy VII Part 2 remake is coming out soon. There's so many things coming out, and so many things out already. Focus on those, play those, enjoy those, support the indies. Go support the indies. Mini shoot adventures that Steve was talking about, support them. They're really, 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 really good game. Check out our game chats. If you need game suggestions, look at it. We have a whole library of game chats. Go check them out. Spoiler alert, I was talking about Scott Pilgrim EX. That just came out earlier this month. Fantastic. Spoiler, fantastic beat 'em up adventure. Get that. There's so many things coming out that everything's getting buried. Just have fun, just play games, stay healthy, and come back in 2 weeks. That's what I say.
Yeah. Smash JC said Mini Shoot Adventures is great. I wholeheartedly agree. Greg, any closing thoughts?
It's hard to beat what Barry said, so I guess just basically ditto.
Yep. Ditto, as in Pocopia ditto.
Yep,
Uh,
exactly.
well, thank you guys for being here. Like I said, Barry and Greg are going to be back in just a couple weeks on April 7th for the next episode. Hope you guys enjoy that, and I hope you will join them in the live chat, either on YouTube or Twitch, or actually, I think, Greg, actually, you stream on YouTube only, right? So I think
Yeah,
in
I don't know how
April,
to get the other one set up, but
it's
unless
just going to be on YouTube. So if you're usually joining us on Twitch or watch it later after the fact, know that it's only going to be on YouTube Live throughout the month of April, and then we'll hop back on Twitch when I join back in May. But yeah, if you never join live, be sure to do that every other Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We'd love to have you in the live chat and join in. It's great to have all these people joining us in this live chat. Loved, interacting with you guys throughout the entire episode, and we love that each time. But yeah, this episode is wrapping up. Thank you guys for being here. Subscribe, share it with your friends, and we'll catch you next time. Happy gaming, everybody.
Have a good one.
see you next time.